My name is John Cushman. I'm from Patchogue, New York, Long Island to be specific. I'm on the NRA board, and I have been for a number of years, and I'm up for re-election. So I'm giving you this little testimonial, if you will, because I need your vote. I need your help to stay there. And I'm specifically upset about what's happened in the last year and a half. We have a governor, Cuomo, who went to the state legislature and he outright lied to the people. We have a bill that we need to put into effect to stop criminals such as the shooting that took place in Connecticut. The only problem was almost everything he said was an outright lie. It was a lie on why they needed the bill, what the bill would do, and it was a lie on how this would solve the problems. It will not solve any of the problems that he raised. As a matter of fact, this bill will create criminals where we didn't have them before. For example, his bill wants to criminalize anybody who would have a firearm that would hold more than 7 rounds. And when I questioned the people who voted in favor of this, they came and told me, said, well, John, he threatened us. He actually had a bill which was much worse. He said, this bill, if you don't pass the one I'm giving you now, I have another one in my briefcase that's even worse than this. And if you don't do as I tell you now with this bill, we're going to pass the other bill. And the other bill is even worse than this one. And again, it has nothing to do with criminal behavior. As a matter of fact, this bill does not solve the crime problem. It doesn't solve the problem of firearms in a lawsuit like this. But we're in a lawsuit now to fight them, and we fight them because this bill will do nothing towards solving the problems of criminal misuse. It will do only that which would actually create more criminals. And the fact that he threatened us, as a matter of fact, by state law, he's required to give the legislature 72 hours to look at the legislation he's proposing, 72 hours to review it, to bring it back home, to talk to other people who will look at it, and get feedback from people who are knowledgeable about firearms, who know something about the firearms law and firearms. He did none of the above. He walked in, and in 25, 30 minutes, he insisted that we do something, the legislators, do something right here, right now, or else I'm going to give you a bill that's even worse than this, which is not really a fair, honest way to deal with criminal behavior in the first place. This bill is not going away. We just had a court case, and it's full of holes. Well, we're taking it to court. We hope to eventually win, but even if we do, we need to continue to fight these battles. We know these battles. I know the arguments. I know that what he's saying is absolutely wrong. It's not fair. It's not equitable. And it does nothing but create lawful citizens and turn them into criminals where they are not now. I'll give you a perfect example. The man had a taillight out. The police officer stopped him. When he stopped him, he looked up on a computer and found out that this man had a handgun license. Walked to the car. The gentleman who was stopped said, yes, I have a handgun license when he was asked. And he says, well, do you have the gun with you now? And he said, yes, I have it with me now. Do you have your license? Yes, I have the license. He said, may I see it? So he showed the police officer the handgun and the license. And he said, you have the gun? Okay. And as soon as he got the gun in his hand, he opened it up, looked at the chamber, at the magazine, and found out that he had more than 7 rounds in it. He said, now you're under arrest. He said, for what? He said, well, they just passed a law that said if you have more than 7 rounds in the gun, you're a criminal. As a matter of fact, you're a felon. Mandatory 1 year in jail. And for what? Doing nothing wrong. Doing absolutely nothing wrong. He is now classified as a felon. Now here's a guy who's never done anything wrong. He got his license because he has experienced and done and exercised good behavior, honest citizenship, never did anything wrong, and now they're going to make him a criminal because he had more than 7 rounds in his magazine. This is absurd. This has nothing to do with crime control or criminal activity. It has to do with creating more criminals simply because they own a firearm, and that's wrong. And I've become pretty good at what I do, and I'd like to be able to stay there and continue doing it. And if nothing else, to lead the charge and keep this up. We cannot let them continue to get away with this kind of attitude towards the public. Again, my name is John Cushman. I thank you for any help you can give. I look forward to having you vote for me on the NRA election day. Thank you very much.